Well, there's a fair amount of springing up and down about to start over at Wembley now on 4 as we join Simon Reed and the crowds for the final of the National Basketball Championship.
Welcome to the Pleasure Dome.
This afternoon, the best two basketball clubs in England head-to-head, the final of the National Championship in the #1 sports hall in this country. Welcome to Wembley. Pandemonium here. It's well and truly a pleasure dome, I can tell you. 8,000 people, and everyone hoping that the two teams, Kingston and Manchester United, can reproduce the form they showed in the cup final. Remember, Kingston were 14 points down with 15 minutes to go. They came back, took the match into overtime, and eventually won it. Kingston, they are the team of the season. They've already won the league. They've already won the cup. They are going this afternoon for the treble. And certainly, whenever the heat's been on so far this season, Steve Bontrager and his men have been out on top.
Like it hot. Some like it hot.
And Manchester United, well, they're very much a team with a mission this afternoon. They're out to prove everyone wrong who've labelled them the perpetual runners-up. But certainly the cynics do have a point. United, remember, beaten by Solent in the National Championship last year, beaten in the final of the Anglo-Scottish Cup, and in the final of the Cup by Kingston this year. But they maintain that in 1985, in the National Championship, well, they will finally lay that ghost. Let's meet the two teams. For Kingston, number 11, the league's most valuable player this year, captain, coach, and a great entertainer, Steve Bontrager. for Manchester United. Number 6, their captain in his 9th year in the UK, his second Wembley, Jeff Jones. For Kingston, number 5, last year's MVP, going for his second successive championship, John Johnson. For United, number 4, an England under-21 player who's made great strides this year, Keith Ramsey. For Kingston, number 6, former England junior in his 3rd year with the club, Peter Wright. For United, number 5, he's been with the club 10 years, and what an asset he's been, Phil Brazil. For Kingston, number 7, probably the best big man playing basketball in England this year, Danny Davis. For United, number 7, another England player, the ultra-competitive Kevin Penny. For Kingston, number 8, already he's had 2 championships with Palace. Could it be a 3rd this year for Richard Brunt? For United, number 8, last year's Wembley's MVP, this year in the All-Star team, Will Brown. For Kingston, number 9, it used to be his brothers getting all the limelight. Now he's in his first Wembley final, Doug Lloyd. For United, number 10, Doug's brother. And this could be his last big-time game in this country. He served United and England well. David Lloyd. For Kingston, number 10, a ball carrier with blinding speed, Andy Inell. For United, number 11, England under-19 international, who showed yesterday he's already got real maturity, Carl Miller. For Kingston, number 13, a young man who this week has picked up medals in the National Schools and Junior Championships, Richard Scaffelbury. For United, number 12, 7'3", the tallest player in this country, shortly off the college in the States, Alan Bannister. For Kingston, number 14, had a marvellous semi-final yesterday, 32 points, 7 rebounds, the hero of England's World Championship successes, Martin Clark. For United, number 14, All-Star member, now in the England squad, 41 points against Worthing yesterday, Colin Irish. For Kingston, number 15, England under-19 international, who's looked impressive whenever he's played at senior level, Richard Grimes. And for United, number 15, 6'7", superbly coordinated, the player's player, Ed Boner. The assistant coach for Kingston is Malcolm Chamberlain. And United coach of the year, Joe Welton Jr. And with me now, Alton Bird, Danny Palmer. Alton, I'll start with you first. United have this bogey of being perpetual runners-up. Can that change today?
I think so. For United to win the ball game, though, they have got to control the tempo. You can't run with this Kingston team. They average 112 points a game. Tempo, make them play half court, United can win the ball game. Simple as that.
Danny, strange things happen to players at Wembley. Do you think strange things could happen to Kingston? Do you think United could nip it?
Well, under this great atmosphere and the tremendous pressure here, something strange could happen. I don't know how you chaps feel, but you know, I've had enough of Kingston. I'm fully Kingston up to about here. Bontrager, Davis, Johnson, Clark, Lloyd, you know, a smashing group of lads. But they've won their share of championships. It will be nice to see a new club like Manchester United and a good team of players, which coach Joe Welton, win a championship, and which would have been a great year for English basketball this year. The key, as Alton said, is tempo. My heart with Manchester, but if I were a punter, my money would be on Kingston.
All right. I don't have to sell this game to you. You can tell from the atmosphere behind us. The whole of the National Championship live coming up between Kingston and Manchester United after this break. Welcome back to Wembley. The two officials out on court. The far side there, Colin Gerrard from Cleveland, and the near side, Alan Richardson from Northumberland. Colin Gerrard, the far side, last week had the biggest moment of his life. He refereed the European Cup Winners' Cup final in Belgium. And indeed, Alan Richardson refereed last year's European Cup final, so two of the best officials in the country to referee this game. And it promises to be one heck of a confrontation, Alton.
I think so. I think for the first 2 or 3 minutes you're going to see a few nerves, but I tell you, this is the perfect ball game. You've got the best matchups in basketball in the country.
Right, Manchester United in red, Kingston for our purposes in white. And the man Bontrager puts in the first shot. Rebound from Jeff Jones. Here's Will Brown, Bontrager on him. Jeff Jones. And Colin Irish, 41 points yesterday, and starts off with the first 2 points of the national final.
Well, he certainly is the key for their team, Simon. They've got to get some scoring from Colin Irish in a big game like this. And Kingston are going to have to shore up their defense a little bit to make sure he doesn't score too many points.
Irish grabs the rebound as he did so often yesterday. And here's Jones. Irish.
Oh, nice shot. He's ready to play.
I guess he is.
There's no question. He said to me yesterday, he said, we're going to get this one. I said, can I quote you on that? He said, no, that's between you and I. So I just broke the first rule.
Danny Davis gets a foul against Kevin Penny. There's the coach for United, Joe Welton Jr. 29 years old. Coach of the year. And there's Malcolm Chamberlain looking a little bit concerned with the way things have gone in the first minute. Assistant to Steve Bontrager.
Well, neither one of these coaches. Here we see the slow motion. Danny Davis gets the ball into the basket, goes up, and Kevin Penny steps in and fouls him. Neither one of these coaches have won the national championship, so one of them are going to break the ice tonight. And it's going to be pretty exciting.
Yes, United beaten finalists last year, the Solent. And they went in as underdogs then. They go in as underdogs again as Danny Davis gets 2 points from the foul line. 4-2, the lead to United.
And I think Steve Bontrager is going to have to think of switching matchups if he thinks Doug Lloyd is going to be able to handle Colin Irish all afternoon. I think you've got a potential mismatch there.
Penny feeds Boner. Up goes Clark. And a foul, I think, against Martin Clark.
Well, this Manchester team have come out playing really intense, looking to play together, and they're playing a sort of game they played yesterday to take them into the match. Nice pass by Kevin Penny under the basket to Bona, and he draws the foul from Martin Clark.
And there's the reaction from Joe Welton. Pleased with his man from the Sudan. 25 years old, from Cairo University, then he went to Fordham University in New York. There he is, Ed Bona, 15.
He played for my college coach, the guy that coached me at Columbia University. So I know he's a pretty good player, and he's very, very simplistic. He's just like you say, a player's player.
2 there for Danny Davis.
I bet you guys don't know this, but Coach Palmer played against Ed Bona in Germany when he was with the Sudan national team.
He's been everywhere, this fella Palmer.
Somebody said that to me before.
And here's Jones, 2, very nearly 3.
And if I'm not mistaken, Man United has not missed a shot to start the game.
And John Johnson gets 2.
Looks like the shootout at the OK Corral today.
I tell you, he may be the key to the ball game, Simon, John Johnson. He didn't have a great offensive game yesterday against Leicester, but he had 9 assists. And I've never known him to get 9 assists.
Ed Boney gets 2 points. That's another key right there. Big Ed's got to come alive and help carry this Manchester team. Look at Steve from outside.
Steve misses once again.
I think he might be forcing a little bit. That was not a great shot. He wasn't wide open.
Will Brown. Rebound from Doug Lloyd, but Kevin Penny picks up the garbage and profits from it.
Well, here we have Kingston again in a situation where they're behind. They've done it all year long. Let's watch and see if they can come back and pick up the momentum of the match.
It is incredible how poorly they start. It was a momentous cup final, and I remember a game against Hemel in the cup when they were well down and Steve Bontrager scored a 3-pointer. They were 2 down in the last few seconds. Bontrager scored a 3-pointer and they won that. So they really are known as the cardiac kids because they give their supporters real heart problems.
And I'll tell you, look at this pass by Jeff Jones. He goes by Dan Davis, and Colin Irish takes it strong to the basket.
And at the other end, a 3-pointer from Steve Bontrager.
One day!
Steve said, I heard you guys over the commentary backs. I'm still out here.
Jones. And here's Penny.
Well, I think the key, gentlemen, is whether or not Manchester can play intensive defense for 40 minutes long. And referee Alan Richardson calls traveling on Jeff Jones. Excellent call.
Yes, that's my one doubt about United, is that they play very well, but only in bursts. They don't seem to sustain it.
Exactly. And once that Kingston machine gets rolling, boy, they're hard to stop. They play very consistently.
But so far, with nearly 4 minutes gone, the onus very much on Kingston to get back in. 6 points the lead for United. Irish in front of Lloyd, and Lloyd puts him off just enough so that Davis can get that rebound to send Bontrager free.
Well, that was not a good shot, Simon. He wasn't open. He should have waited for his teammates, got it, worked for a better shot.
And Johnson, once again, having a poor shooting first half. Had it yesterday. I think he took 1 from 9. 2 there from Doug Lloyd. Cuts the gap to 4.
I think Doug Lloyd is Coach Bontrager's favorite player. He really speaks well of Doug. He does a lot of things that normal fans don't see in the court. He's a great, excellent player.
And he did that well, too. Just took the ball away from Colin Irish at the crucial moment. With Bontrager again.
Fantastic pass from John Johnson in the air to Martin Clark, and he converts the pass into 2 points. Great play.
Martin Clark, who's off to America to try and make it in the pros this summer. Had a marvelous college year with Boston College before he came here. And has played well all season and seemed to have improved all season. There's 2 more from Kevin Penny.
Yeah, I think, gentlemen, if Kingston win this match, Martin Clark definitely gets my vote for most valuable player.
This is one there. With Jeff Jones. Frightened pace.
Yeah, I think, like I say, both these teams are going to run. But in the game of basketball, it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. And it's the ones who are ahead at the end. And I think Kingston's got the kind of club. Here's a replay. Ed Bona, nice lean-in shot over Martin Clark.
There's Doug Lloyd in the corner. Certainly putting up the shots, Kingston, and not shooting quite as well at the moment as they normally do. But John Johnson gets in there and moves his tally up to 4.
They have to, United has to be careful and box out John Johnson. He's one of the best offensive rebounding second guards in the country. So they have to make sure they box him out.
Oh, Big Ed Bowen is hot. He's had about 7 points now. Good sign for Manchester. There you see Stephen Bontrager doing what he does best, drawing the foul. Faking the head.
Just a minute, Steve. He
and
made
Hoover
the call.
drawing the foul.
I don't know. Ask him. I'm sure if it's 3, he'll give you 3.
Foul here on Will Brown.
There you see it.
And not a shooting foul. Bontrager thought it might be, but not given. Sideline possession.
I think this is the matchup a lot of people, and that's a good call. I think that's the matchup that a lot of people want to see, William Brown against Stephen Bontrager. And
William Brown got position on Stephen Bontrager through the offensive foul.
Charging, sideline.
Here it is.
There's the replay. William Brown still moving, but you can see Stephen Bontrager's right arm push off. Offensive foul, good defense, William Brown.
I don't think Coach Bontrager was very happy with that call.
I think he thought the ball was taken away from him, but I think the charge was earlier on. Here's Irish.
Alan Irish, nice shot.
And you wonder, how come this guy wasn't in the England team before?
Well, are you trying to get controversial again, Alden?
Who, me? No. Nice layup there by John Johnson, but hey, a guy like Colin Irish should have been in the England team a long, long time ago.
Let me tell you, Alton, they haven't done too badly without him.
That's true. That's true.
He's an asset to any
All
team.
credit to Mr. Bezic then.
Right.
Bit of a wild shot there from Colin. Can't be a one-man show. They've got a lot of players in this team who can play basketball, and they should utilize them all. Nice inside move by Dan Davis on a pass from Stephen Bontrager.
Super player. This is why they call him one of the best big men, if not the best big man playing basketball in Britain this year. Superb reflexes, great power.
I didn't think he had a lot of moves around the basket, but he's been proving me wrong recently. That was a great move. He made a couple great moves yesterday around the basket. He's a good player.
Brown goes for three. Gets them. And it was those 3-pointers that yesterday got them in the final. A crucial moment against Worthing. He stuck in 2 of those 3-pointers.
So we got a charging call or defensive foul on Kevin Penny. Coach Welton up on his feet screaming at the referee. He wants a charging foul on Davis.
Right. He leaned over when the man was in the air. You've been talking to them too much, Colin.
Colin Chapman saying he leaned over when the man was in the air, and Joe Welton giving him a few words of his own.
Joe Welton says you've been talking to them a little bit too much. Well, there's a 50-50 call foul. He calls it not a shooting foul. He gives him sideline ball.
Now be quiet. Okay? You've got it. All right, Colin. Call the charge. I'll get off your back.
I might tell you, basketball is a difficult game to referee. Not only is it very fast, but the coaches are on you all the time, and you've got 8,000 people here. There's pandemonium.
Interesting. Manchester now in their half-court zone defense, which I don't think too many teams would want to do this against this tough-shooting Kingston team. But they seem to be a bit cold at the moment.
Bontrager misses again.
Danny, you and I both know they don't stay cold for long.
Really?
This club shoots the ball better than just about anybody in European basketball.
And good hands from Kevin Penny there. Denying the pass to Davis. And Irish through. And he gets the foul.
Foul on 9. White leaning over.
Here's the replay. Doug Lloyd goes to block the shot and gets him with the left side of his body. I tell you, it's an interesting time right now for Manchester United.
1 minute.
So a timeout now for Malcolm Chambers. 7 points in arrears.
Play out there. There's no cohesion. You've got to start working on the defensive end. If we can push the ball up, don't get 2 and 3 man set the pick, 4 and 5 man go down. When they're in this zone, we're in rover. Move the ball, go and make sure we flash through, get the ball on the reverse, and we'll look inside. If you're going to give it into Danny, let's make sure we got good steady passes, all right? Hey, defensive end, come on.
Let's go 22-2, all right? Doug, you up front, me and Martin half, Gary back. Me and Martin, we got to get back, okay?
Whoa. You're stopping just over the halfway line and thinking you're on defense. Get back into the keyway, come out and play good. Come on.
Good timeout there needed by Kingston. They're down by 7 points, and assistant coach Malcolm Chamberlain pointed out that they've got to be a little bit more patient on offense and work around for a good shot. And they changed their defense. I don't know what it is because they're using their own signals there, but let's look for a change in the defense of Kingston.
Now David Lloyd has come on as substitute for Jeff Jones. David Lloyd, number 10, and he's playing in what may well be his last game in this country. May well be going to the States in the summer. Hasn't finally made up his mind. And if that is so, it'll be a sad loss both for his club here and also for England, because he's been a stalwart of the England side over the last few years.
He's a very, very smart player, and he's an excellent big game player. Here's an interesting substitution. Joe Welton brings in the youngster Carl Miller for Colin Irish, and usually Joe Welton doesn't do that. He doesn't want to give Colin such an early rest, but he's made a decision to do so.
He might be doing it all to utilize his quickness of the young players and this press defense they just set up in Manchester now, and a 3/4 court zone press. And Kingston are zone pressing as well.
Penny, double teams, still finds Brown. And here's Miller. And that's It's a great start for the young man there. Just 18 years old.
Interesting statistic here from John Atkinson. Manchester are shooting a blistering pace, 12, 13 out of 15, and Kingston are only 8 for 18.
Well, there's the replay. Carl Miller doesn't get his right foot planted, foul moving his right leg.
So Doug Lloyd, sideline possession. Here's Bontrager. Finds Clark free at the side.
There's a man who's been quiet, Martin Clark.
Andy Inell on for Kingston, number 10. And three-pointer for Steve Bontrager, his second. Up to 6. All his points from three-pointers.
I wonder what would have happened if there'd been no three-point line. He'd still be a great player.
I was talking to him about that, and he said he used to shoot in his college days from that distance, even when he was an Athletes in Action. And so it was like something out of heaven. When the three-point line, and for a practicing Christian, well, you can see.
Well, in fairness to Steve, if they win this championship, you know, he'll have accomplished something no other coach has ever done. That's win the treble as a player coach. Very difficult task.
Doug Lloyd gets the tip in there. 4 points to him. The lead back to 6.
Kingston are putting the press on now. They feel that they can pressure this Manchester United team and cause them some turnovers.
Well, he's not phased at all.
No. As we said yesterday, we were told when we played United in the Anglo-Scottish Cup final that he couldn't shoot. Well, he's made his first 2 here, so I think people are finding out that he can't shoot it when open.
Well, I tell you, the second half yesterday, and thus far in this match, it's the best I've seen Man United play all year long. And Colin Gerrard called a 3-second offensive violation against the Kingston team.
Substitution for United. Off goes Ed Boner. On goes Colin Irish. And coming up now to halfway through this first half. And Kingston, the red-hot favourites, in a real dilemma here.
Well, as we spoke about before the match, the key is the tempo. And if Manchester United can continue to play this way, working the ball around, taking good shots, and working hard, they've got a good chance to become national champions.
Oh, they're working like beavers around that basket.
Tell you, boy, they're hungry. They want this bad.
Real bad.
Carl Miller gets 2 points there. He's up to 4.
Ah.
A good call by Alan Richardson. A charging foul against Stephen Bontrager. Excellent call.
With the ball.
There you see it. Steve drives in. Boom, he smashes into Colin Irish for the foul.
That right knee was moving a little bit, wasn't it? Here it is.
No, he's there.
Yeah, he had position.
I don't think Colin's going to be dancing a bit underneath Steve Bontrager. He's got a little bit too much weight to carry.
Yeah. Here's Bontrager. Here's Irish now with Brown.
And we get a 3-second call against the Manchester United team as well. You're only allowed 3 seconds when you're on offense inside the red area under the basket.
Johnson. Bontrager. Andy Inell. And he's not been shooting too well of late, Andy Inell. Bontrager's been asking him to shoot more and more, and certainly he's been practicing it hard, but just not going in there. Here he is again, so fast on the break Inell there.
Well, you call this, Simon. Beautiful fast break pass from Bontrager to Johnson to Inell for 2 points. He flies down the court.
They reckon he's the fastest down the court playing the game. And
I'd agree with that, actually. He certainly runs a good 2 or 3 degrees faster than I do. Sometimes I don't think he knows where he's going, but he definitely moves very quickly.
Irish. Yeah, he's strong again today. Magnificent. Yesterday, and now already 10 points.
And we talked yesterday about half-court zoning, a Kingston team that shoots well. This 1-3-1-half court is giving Kingston all kinds of problems.
Well, they're not shooting well. I think to me it looks like they might be a little bit overconfident. Coming on, I think the game's already over. They're going to win it.
I don't think so. I don't think so. No, I don't think Kingston's that kind of team. I've been around them a little bit, and what I've found out is that they are very keyed up. I don't think that they think this is over at all. In fact, I think in the cup final, the reason they went behind there was that they gave them too much respect, Manchester United. And I think they're probably giving them a lot of respect here.
Well, they better give them a lot of respect because they're playing a heck of a ball game.
Right?
Simon, you're underestimating this. You said you've only been around them a little bit. Come on, own up. They're your local team.
You're getting a bit controversial there, Al. Inel. Bontrager.
Big Steve, 3 more.
And that's what I like about Bontrager, is that although he's not having the greatest of games, he's got such confidence in his ability that it'll come right in the end, and he'll keep shooting. And in the end, it invariably does come right for him.
Well, you know, Colin Irish is a great player, but he's got to stop forcing those bad shots. I think Coach Wells is going to just call a timeout. He's going to tell him that.
Count that one.
Big Steve again.
And suddenly, Kingston are back in it. 2 3-pointers from that man there, Steve Bontrager. And the lead from being 10 is now down to 4. And Joe Welton now calls his team in.
Okay for Carl right now. Nice job. Nice job. Let's go 55, back to 55. You got your matchups? Yeah. Got your matchups? What's the man? Let's deal. You got your brother. Okay, you got your brother. Let's pick him up. Okay, let's start the box out. And let's don't shoot any garbage down the center. We don't need to. They don't play any defense, so we don't need to take a bad shot. All right? Pull it back out, and we'll get a good one. Okay? It's all right. Let's go. That's even better.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. Dave should be on one of those three.
All right, one of you got okay?
And Joe Welton's still in there, kind of digging in a bit. I think defensively, he's going to change his defense just a bit, force him to do a couple of things differently. Bontrager's found his range, and I think offensively he said, hey, Kingston doesn't play any defense.
But aren't they giving Bontrager too much room? They certainly were there.
Absolutely. I mean, out of the 12 points, he's hit 4 shots, and all 4 of them have been 3-pointers. So that you know the guy's going to score 3-pointers. You got to get on him.
They always say in basketball, if you live by the outside shot, you'll die by it. But that's not true in the case of Kingston.
Well, they haven't so far this year, but there's one more game, this one, and they may actually die by it if they continue to shoot it.
Dan Davis comes alive, says, get that ball out of here, Big Ed.
Matty Nell goes careering into the seats just beside us. Man who's getting married in September. Former Palace player. He's been here before. Championship in 80-81. You were playing then, Al.
Yes, sir. He was a teammate of mine.
All right, Colin Irish hits a basket from outside. This guy hits him inside, hits him outside, he hits him from all over the place. What a great player.
Bontrager again. He's found his range.
That's 5 for 5 from the outside. Come on, somebody's got to get out there and say, hey, Steve, you know, let's get a hand up on him anyway. Slow down a bit.
Jones. Lloyd. Irish. Traveling. Johnson a little bit quick to try and get the ball away from him.
Yeah.
And Irish told him he was a little bit quick.
Yeah, John, I don't know if you want to rumble with this guy. This guy's a little bit too big for you.
Hey, John's a pretty intense player. Well, he doesn't
hold on, no.
Hold his ground.
There's reason, though, you know. Colin Irish is a big fella.
Johnson is getting a little bit flashy there.
Yeah, I think he wanted to get some payback.
And Irish is still giving him a mouthful as they go down court. 2 points from David Lloyd. And here's Inel on this fast break. And crashed into by David Lloyd.
Well, what a fantastic amount of intensity out there. Boy, David Lloyd was flying down the court to try and stop Inel from scoring.
1 minute, David. 1 minute to
Who said basketball players weren't fast? Inel takes off. There's the foul on the right wrist. Lloyd goes skidding into the ball basket. And Nell goes into the basket support.
Non-contact game.
You said that, I didn't.
We found that this morning, actually, when we were playing out and didn't manage to turn up, but Channel 4 played the English Basketball Association and had a resounding win. Palmer and Reed very much in evidence.
Well, I'll tell you, it's nice playing with the gun. I'm glad you're there, Simon. I don't know if Alden can fill your shoes. You did a great job. The Bruiser. You call him the Bruiser. Reed the Bruiser.
Hey, I asked for it. That was a provisional. Come on.
They're going for a substitution, Kingston. That's what Malcolm Chambers talking about. Wants to get Martin Clark back on court. Irish. Still firing away. Lead back to 5.
It's the Bontrager and Irish show here.
That's a good point, Alden. Some of these other players have got to come alive for these teams in order for them to you know, have a bigger impact on the match.
Yes, Danny Davis is another crucial factor, I think. In the first half yesterday against Leicester, he didn't show. They were down at half-time. In the second half, he played and he turned the game around. 24 points in the end.
Well, Martin Clark has not been a factor in this ball game at all. Doug Lloyd has not been a factor offensively. Danny Davis really hasn't been a factor.
But that man has Irish up to 18 now.
I guess 18 points. There's still 6 minutes to play in this half.
Kingston only twice this season have failed to get 100 points. And you can see why with Bontrager, but not from that shot from Doug Lloyd.
I think Kingston have got to be a bit more patient on their offense and look for better shots.
I tell you, that's when Ed Bona is at his best, when he takes his time offensively, concentrates on his target, puts it in the basket. That time he got Dan Davis. Here it is. He gets him off the floor, draws the contact, doesn't get the ball up, but he does a great job in taking his time and drawing physical contact. 2 shots for Ed Bona.
And the consultation between Steve Bontrager and Malcolm Chamberlain as Ed Bona goes to the foul line. Rumours are rife always in basketball. A rumour about this man, Ed Bona, that he was going away from the club this summer, joining another English team. Spoke to Joe Welton Jr., the coach. He says it's absolutely not true. He'll be staying at Manchester United.
I'll tell you, that's great for Joe Welton. It's great for United because you can't find a nicer guy in basketball than Ed Bona.
Nice move there by Johnson. Doesn't complete the shot, but it's a good move. Oh, we get a foul on Danny Davis inside, I believe. Yep.
Second foul against Davis in, what, about a minute?
You see the replay. There's Davis, goes in to get the rebound. Oh, and jumps over the back of Colin Irish and gets called for the foul.
So, United have done well. They've weathered the Bontrager storm. They're now 9 points ahead again in the last quarter of this first half.
Look at Irish, dunk shot. Boy, he's doing everything.
Oh, hold on. Yeah, hold on, no. That pass came from Jeff Jones. Great pass, easy basket. Give Jeff Jones the credit for that dunk.
Definitely.
Bontrager looking for a foul there. And there's Johnson working hard under the basket.
Yeah, he's one of the best players in European basketball under the basket for his size. Really, really tough player in size. Smart. He drew the foul. You see, he jumped in the air and, you know, drew the foul, made the player foul him while he was in the air.
And watching there is Bill Sheridan, coach to Worthing, beaten by Manchester United by 6 points in the semi-final last night. You may have seen that. Cracking game it was too on Channel 4 last night. John Johnson.
I'll tell you, there's a guy. We only got to play together for 3 or 4 games, but I always felt John and I would have been the best backcourt duo in Europe. Offensively, he's very gifted. He just needs the ball to play. And I like to give him the ball because the guy's pretty interesting.
Yeah. Here we go again, the same man, Mr. Irish, number 14. I don't think Bontrager and Johnson as a guard combination are the worst in Europe.
No, that's true.
Here's Clark.
Nice tip by Johnson over Bona. Look at that.
That's a guard, or a guard forward. Not bad tip that against a 6'7" guy.
Well, that just shows one of the reasons why he was the most valuable player in the league last year.
Malcolm Chamberlain just calling a timeout after this move. Johnson gets another foul. I think it gets Bona. Foul on 15. Yes, it is. Foul on against Bona, and here's a timeout called by Malcolm Chamberlain. There's the foul. Bona still moving when the contact was made. Not allowed to do that as the defensive player. Here's Malcolm Chamberlain, still with problems. 9 points down.
Hey, come on. No foul. Hey, we're not getting back. We're playing. Remember what we said.
Killing us on that press. We got.
That's right. Hey, he's the man's killing us. Yeah, just bring the ball back. Just come back to here and play one defense. Yeah. You've got to get back into the keyway. Don't give Irish this move that he's making. He's got to put it on the floor. He fakes and then you're going at him. Yeah. Hey, you've got to start playing defense and help side with one another. Now, come on. offensively, let's move the ball around and get the good shot. Then we get the balanced rebound. The way that we're shooting at the moment is the same as yesterday. The ball's going over the heads of the guys coming in. Be smart.
We're all right. Our shooting will come. Keep going. Keep shooting. It'll come. All right?
Push the ball up. Come on, Steve. Push it up.
Very good timeout by Coach Chamberlain. He said, hey, we got to get back and play some defense. We're not getting back fast enough. They're fast breaking us. And second thing, we got to take better shots. They're rushing their shots a bit.
3 times they've met this season. There's the rebounding, and United leading 14-10. 3 times they've met this season. All 3 games have gone within 5 points. The cup final, 103-98, that after overtime. And in the league, Kingston won, both of them by just 2 points. 96-94, 107-115. So they had the Indian sign over them so far. But certainly United playing as if that was totally not the case.
Well, I think the deciding factor will be whether or not United can continue to play with this intensity and at this pace, because they're very talented and they can beat this team. No question about it.
Brown, Johnson working hard. Penny. Jeff Jones. Irish again.
Jeez, is there anybody out there?
I'll tell you,
that man?
Doug Lloyd cannot guard Colin Irish. He just cannot guard him.
Here's Johnson.
I'm surprised they haven't made a switcher. The guy's only got 600 points.
Whoa, there's somebody under the basket.
Well, there ain't much defense at all out there for Kingston.
Kingston's defense is totally non-existent.
They just had a timeout and said get back on defense.
And Martin Clark just is not having a good afternoon.
Boy.
Shot there at Joe Welton. He doesn't usually show much amusement on court. Very serious man, but my word, he looked happy there. And there's Martin Clark. I think he heard you out.
That's not unusual. This is 4th point.
Colin Irish, meanwhile, shooting 11 from 14. Brown, Jones. And they're all calling for it, all the United players. They all want the ball, they all want to do something exciting and work for each other.
Oh, you said Kingston right there, you just saw they were double teaming up on Colin Irish, trying to prevent him from getting the basketball. I think that's a pretty good idea. He's only got 22 points.
Jones. And again, such little defense.
Well, Jeff Jones is playing a great ball game. He's doing his job. Will Brown's doing his job. They are playing an excellent game, and Jeff's going to the basket strong and confident the way he used to. He's not tentative at all.
You said before the match, Alton, that Manchester would have to play a perfect ball game. Thus far, they have done just that. 3-on-1 fast break. Will Brown in for the layup.
And again, no offensive rebound for Kingston, and that's what led to the fast break, and that's what they've been relying on. Danny Davis and the rest of the boys, Clark getting in on those rebounds. They're not doing it.
Well, they seem to be asleep, Simon. I tell you, they're in danger of this game being over at halftime. What an incredible thing that would be.
Bontrager.
Nice pass.
Beautiful pass. Nice completion by Doug Lloyd.
And there's the picture of a rather intense man at the moment.
I think Danny Davis could do a decent job on Colin Irish. Maybe Doug Lloyd on Ed Bona. What do you think, Alton?
I don't know. Danny Davis, you know, he's playing with a bad knee. He's trying to guard. Ed Bona's a little bit easier to guard. Irish has got too much mobility for him, I think.
Well, they just put Martin Clark on us. Let's see what the kind of job Martin can do. He just prevented him from making an outside shot. Come on, Kingston, get back in the game.
Bontrager. Here's Lloyd. 2 good shots from Lloyd in a row, and that keeps Kingston in the match 9 points down. But a timeout call by Joe Welton.
Hey, easy. Get a blow. Keep your head up. Get a blow. Listen, did a nice job getting a 9-point lead. Okay? What's happened is you're working hard on defense, but we can't let them get a second shot. On offense, you can't play tired. You can't play tired. Okay, we're playing tired. We got to cross underneath, set some picks, be creative, make the motion happen. You hear me? We got to get things moving. We'll stay in 55. I don't want any foolish stories. It's fouls. No foolish fouls. We got Johnson. All right, get in front of him if he tries to post up. Just get a breather. We'll bring it up. We're going to get a good shot, and then we're going to D him up in rebound. Okay? All right? Everybody all right? Let's go. 1, 2, 3, defense. Nice job,
Joe
Red.
Welton with probably the best time out of the playoffs. A minute and 44 seconds to go. He said, first of all, you can't play tired on offensive. You can't do it. They stop screening, they stop moving, and that's when Kingston starts to come back at you. Secondly, defensively, you got to push up. You're going to try and front John Johnson so that he doesn't get any advantages.
Interesting statistic there. Stephen Bontrager's got 15 points thus far, all of them on three-point shots.
What does that tell you? That they're keeping him well in control, obviously, inside that three-point area, but outside they're not marking well enough.
Well, I think it may indicate that they're keeping the other players under control. We're not hearing much from anybody else, so that could be the game plan. I mean, if I were coaching, I would certainly do that. His team's going to get his points anyways. Stop the other players from scoring.
Right, we have a jump ball now. I think it's between Kevin Penny and Doug Lloyd.
Where is he?
Oh, the difference thus far has been, let's look at this slow motion replay here and see the boys diving for the ball on the floor. But the biggest difference has been right now, Mr. Atkins just pointing out, Kingston have missed 21 shots. Manchester have only missed 10.
Possession to United. Good hustling from Johnson. Penny.
And if they keep moving the ball, United, they're going to get an easy shot.
Illegal screen called against Kevin Penny by Alan Richardson.
Well, here's a statistic for you, Danny. Nobody's missed a foul shot yet. Everybody's shooting 100%.
Good thing I'm not playing out there. That would be a different stat.
That's true.
You weren't too bad this morning, though, Danny. So here come Kingston now. Into the last minute we go of this first half. 9 points down. Very much a second half team, but so often they leave themselves so much to do, and they really would be very grateful for another 2 points off a deficit. Danny Davis thinks that the ball went out from a United hand, but not called. But what is called is a broom, sweep the floor, get the sweat off it. Very, very hot out there. 54 seconds to go. Neither of these teams ever won the national championship before.
I'll tell you though, there's no feeling like it. There's no feeling like it in the world to win the championship here.
Irish.
I'll second that.
Rebound from Davis. Bontrager. Clark with plenty of room. And he makes it pay.
Roy on
6 points.
Sorry, Simon, you can't ever count these boys out. They come back from a lot of matches this year when they were behind, and this ball game is not over with yet by long.
United calling for just one shot as the clock goes down. They've got 30 seconds to get that shot in. They're within that time now, so they'll run this clock right the way down and not allow Kingston time to get a shot in return. But Kingston do have possession. Boner denying Clark. Clark wants the ball quickly, and Boner doesn't want him to get it. Boner obviously wants to give time to get his defense organized.
Well, I think that's the bone of contention with a lot of people. You ought to let the ball go. I wonder who's going to shoot this one.
But Ed Boner gets the ball out of his hand. But it looks as if it is half-time, although Kingston protesting. Kingston still protesting that it isn't half-time, but in fact, it looks like they're bringing the players back on court.
Well, there's still a fraction of a second left.
I think you said 1 second, Simon. I think it was a good call. And he slapped the ball out of his hand before the clock ran out.
Yeah, all right, here's a trivia question for you. I'll give you 3 guesses on who's going to take this last shot. And 2 of them don't count.
Right, here it is. Doug Lloyd looking for that man there, Bontrager, but Brown more than wise to the occasion. And he throws it away, and United go in at half-time in the lead by 58 points to 51. We'll be back with the whole of the second half live in just a few minutes. home back to Wembley, half-time, and a chance for us just to relax for a few minutes, but only for a few minutes. I reckon the live second half in about 7 or 8 minutes' time. Now, Steve Bucknell's a name known at the moment only to the most ardent of basketball fans, but all that may change as a result of his exploits across the Atlantic over the last few months. For Bucknell, a 19-year-old from Streatham has raised quite a few eyebrows, and many people have picked him right for the very top. 4.5 assists a game, and he's got everyone who's been involved with him not only drooling about his statistics, but more importantly, about his attitude.
He's such an intense competitor. You know, he just doesn't like to lose, and he works so hard on his own game, and he works hard pulling his other teammates along with him. I think what he does so well is he makes the rest of the players play that much better.
Basketball is very important for me when I started to play for the Falcons, Crystal Palace Falcons. Then, you know, I realized that my goal was to play for the senior men's at Crystal Palace. And when I made the Falcons, I realized that I had a chance, you know, to make that goal.
So how come you went to Boston?
I went to Boston because Roy Packham, the coach at Crystal Palace Falcons, he had some connections over there, and he got in contact with 2 schools. And then I went over there, and I visited both these schools, and I made a choice which school I wanted to go to. My development was gradual because my first year there was an adjustment year. I had to learn, you know, I had to play the American style of basketball and to find out what was needed to, you know, to make the high level. So, you know, I worked on my game. I worked over the summer. You know, I worked really hard. And then the second year, you know, I developed my game and I was playing hard, but I didn't get the recognition that I should have, you know, had because I was in the top 100 at least in America then. My junior year and senior year, I went to a camp, one of the best camps in America, and I won the MVP. And since then, you know, all the colleges have been knocking on my door.
And the college he'll be playing for next season is North Carolina, traditionally one of the most prestigious basketball colleges in the States. This is the kind of talent he'll have to compete with. So why did he sign for them when this winter he's had several major coaches in the States crossing the Atlantic to try and persuade Steve's parents to get their son to sign for them?
I felt that North Carolina was a place for me. You know, when I went over to America, I saw them playing. Deep down in my heart, you know, it was a dream. I said I want to go to North Carolina, and none of people know this, but it was a dream. And you know, when you get the opportunity to fulfill your dreams, you know, why not take the chance? And that's what I did.
Yes, here's a young man who seems to know exactly where he's going. Even during his short stay in England in the last month, it was difficult to keep him away from the basketball court. So what drives him on?
I want to succeed. I know the only way you have to succeed is to work hard. So, you know, my mind's already set to what I want to do. I know I have to work hard because, you know, it's not going to come to me easy. I'm going to have to work for what, you know, I want.
How talented is he?
Extremely talented. He, although a lot of people may question my prediction that he's going to be a professional basketball player, I don't think they've seen him play enough to really see his talents. But he's very quick. He has great court awareness, and he's a great passer, which is passing is a lost art at the moment in basketball. And on top of that, he works extremely hard. He knows what he wants, and he's self-motivated. He works very hard at what he wants. And should he be able to make the transition from an inside player, which is what he is now, to an outside player, I think he could be the first player from Great Britain to ever become a professional player in America.
What are the goals that drive you forward? Is it money, fame, the trophies that we see behind you? A combination of those things? What is it?
I think I don't like to lose. I like to win, and I have an opportunity now to be able to make pros. I have an opportunity that, you know, not people my age going to have, and especially coming from England. So all I'm going to do is play my hardest and try and do the best I can do, and ultimately that means making the pros, and I'm going to try for it.
Steve Bucknell, astonishingly mature for 19 years old. One result I can give you from earlier on today is that Leicester are the third-place champions. They beat Worthing 99 points to 89. So live second-half coverage of Kingston against Manchester United coming up in just 2 minutes. Welcome back. The tip-off just about to happen for the start of the second half. There are the relevant statistics. Manchester United shooting 26 from 39, Kingston 19 from 39, so they missed 20 shots, over half. Free throws exactly the same, rebounds United just in front, and turnovers, yes, United doing slightly better there as well.
And I'll tell you, that's an important statistic, those turnovers. But take a look at the points. Colin Irish is kind of leading a one-man band, so 24 for him, Bontrager with 15.
Right, here we are then with the tip-off for the second half. Kingston 7 points down. Kingston, remember, going for the treble. Team who've never won anything before this year. Won the cup, the league. Were red-hot favourites to win this, but now things look to be slipping away. Here's Jones.
That's right, Simon. Manchester United said, hey, forget about all the other titles. We're here to play for the national championship, baby. Let's go. We're ready. They are certainly showing them.
Well, I'll tell you, the difference in the game yesterday was between Kingston and Leicester was the first 5 minutes of the second half. Leicester folded up 10. Kingston hit a few shots, and it was over. Same thing tonight.
Well, I think you've got too much experience on this Man United team. They look pretty intense and pretty. They want this pretty bad. I don't think they're going to slow up a little. I'd be very surprised.
Foul on Johnson.
I'll tell you, I saw something when both teams came out that I haven't seen all year long, and that was the Kingston players a bit with their heads down. You know, they look like, hold on, doesn't look like we're ever going to get, you know, loose here. And that's something I've never seen. Normally they come out and they're ready to play.
But surely with a team that's come back from 14 down in a cup final, will feel that they can come back from almost anywhere.
Well, they certainly do not lack in confidence. And none of those guys, all those players out there, are very confident people on and off the court. Now, I think we're going to see him come back in the match. Big Dan Davis said, here we go.
He was ready then.
He certainly was. He got a good offensive rebound and put it back in. He's the key for them. I need to be curious to see him grab the offensive rebound, snatch it in, and put it back in. Nice play, Dan.
Only 6 points in the first half, but he had about that in the first half of the semi-final against Leicester and ended up with 24, so who knows. But Irish is still pumping away there.
The wonder man puts another one in.
Johnson. His shot's just not been on here. A bit of luck there for Kingston.
There's that famous move of his where he dribbles between his legs and spins around, and he usually gets off a fall-away jump shot.
And while he was doing it, one of his teammates spent too much time inside the key. He got called for 3 seconds.
Foul on 6 right, charging.
Foul there on Jeff Jones, his first.
We set up, we scored.
Still the deficit, 9 points. Lloyd.
I don't think Kingston had come up against such a determined opponent this season thus far. These guys really look determined, and they want this trophy.
Yeah, when you've lost in so many finals and people are beginning to rubbish you on the big occasion, then I think you do get more and more fired up.
I think so. I think they're overdue. Here's the foul low. Danny Davis gets it down low, and that's not terribly smart by Colin Irish.
As they come in the fast break, Will Brown in for 2.
The Greyhound rides again. I tell you, he's extremely graceful. Went to the basket strong, lays it in softly.
It's amazing because Stephen Bontrager was already back there. He just blew by him and scored.
It just won't go in for John Johnson at the moment. He calls for a foul there.
7, White.
Umpire
pushing.
Alan Richardson calls a foul on Dan Davis. Here you see the replay. Johnson takes a shot, and Davis just knocks Will Brown down, although they were both going for the ball.
And that's the 3rd foul against Danny Davis, and that's important for Kingston. And Johnson just not shooting at all at the moment.
Oh, he's definitely not having a good night. Well, I wonder what his shooting statistics are. This guy's not having a bad night. Colin Irish goes in, loses the handle of the ball, and still puts it in.
Here's Doug Lloyd. Irish with the rebound. Brown.
And they're off. It's United in the left. Tough pass. Tough pass to make.
Well, this is where it could be dangerous for United. They don't want to get in a big running game with this team, but these boys can run and they can chuck it up. They better slow it down. I think Will Brown's doing just that right now. He's going to call a play here. You see him raising his fist in the air.
2 to Doug Lloyd. And the lead 11. Ogbonna. Irish. Will Brown.
Beautiful play, but there wasn't much defense in there, Simon. You know, the guys didn't have their hands. Look at it. No hands up on defense. The pass should not get through there.
Bontrager, Lloyd, Clark, and Ed Boner judged to be moving that right leg of his.
Step up to him. Does never seem to stand still, does it? Poor guy's been called twice for blocking, as Colin Gerard says.
Thank you. That's his third foul. And there's Johnson from the outside, normally one of the best shooters in the country, just shooting 4 from 10 from the floor at the moment. Clark. Boner in front of him. Lloyd. Davis. And robbed by Irish. And Joe Welton in front of us screaming for a foul against Doug Lloyd, but Bontrager sets Johnson free, and he doesn't miss from that range, and he gets a chance for 3 points here because he gets a foul against Jones. At the other end of the court, there you see Colin Irish.
Ooh.
Red.
Looks as if he's got a problem with that
Stepping
right
into the
ankle.
Colin, change his direction and jump into it. Go on.
No, I think he's all right. He's getting a little rest.
Also got problems with both knees. It's the right knee that's the left knee that's strapped up, but the right knee causing him problems yesterday.
That was a nice slow motion view of the play that Colin Irish made. He ball faked into the middle, but he missed a layup and he hurt himself.
It's normally very coordinated, but didn't look different today. And in front of us, we can see Bontrager and Malcolm Chamberlain.
Because Irish is dealing on one-on-one, okay? Tell him to talk it.
I think they're trying to find new ways of stopping Colin Irish, but it's becoming increasingly important to do it, and they're not managing to.
I got one way of stopping him. Shoot him. The guys, you know, Doug Lloyd can't guard Colin Irish, and I think the only guy who can, maybe Martin Clark, but he's having a tough day today. You know, Irish is on his game, so.
They might try zone defense. I don't know. I think the big problem they got, well, there's no defense there. Look at it. He comes in the middle and he gets to take a shot with nobody confronting him. But we look at the stats, and Manchester United is shooting 5 for 6, Kingston are 3 for 10. Now they're 4 for 11 now. That helps a little bit.
And Johnson raises his fist to the air as if to say, that's it, come on. This is the kind of business we should be doing. And he's just a little bit now on a charge. And they need him to be. And he gets the ball here, rounds Irish as if he's not there. Great hands from John Johnson, and here's Bontrager.
There he is, he's open, he's open. John Johnson was open about 10 seconds before that.
Really?
But Bontrager will have a look to see if he's open first, and then if anybody else is open.
There's one thing that Steve's doing right now. He's very tentative in his play. He's not his usual flowing self, and he's missing a lot of open people and a lot of his open shots.
There he goes.
He heard you again, Alden.
Okay, well, I wasn't even finished with the sentence.
The Kingston fans wanted to keep talking up.
You said that yesterday. Come on, new commentary here.
Yeah, Reed does get a bit rusty once in a while.
Will Brown.
United needs a basket here, bad.
That's not the way to get it. Oh, I guess it is. He took a bad shot, but it went in, looked okay. It looks good on paper, they say.
Johnson. Yes, he's playing a lot better now.
Well, he had a great second half yesterday, and maybe he's going to have another great second half today.
It looks like he saw those statistics on the screen and said, hey, I got to change something here. Wait a minute.
Here's Kevin Penny. Irish. Good shooting from Irish. He's still hot. Shot 4 from 5 this half, and he's on 32 points.
And the Temple teams have picked up. We got a good match here. Here we go. Steve Bontrager, 3 points. Brings the game back to 4 points.
Coming.
John Johnson is saying, please give me a rest.
Really? He's tired, but he's brought them back and helped bring them back into the match.
Certainly has the lead down to 4.
I think it might be good for a timeout for Manchester. They're going to get the composure back and get the momentum going back in their favor, because Kingston are on a roll right now. They score here, boy, Manchester are in trouble. Yep, here's Coach Welton signaling for a timeout.
Bontrager finds a way through. They let him through. And Kevin Penny throws the ball at him. And a technical foul against Kevin Penny.
Excellent call by the referee. Here you see him grab the ball. He's got to maintain his composure. You can't get it. He's intense. You can't do that. That's crazy. That's not a good move. Good call.
Joe Welton takes a timeout. And the Kingston deficit only 2 points. Let's hear Joe Welton.
Yeah. Carl for Kevin, Dave for Jeff. Okay. You done letting them back in? Come on, Red. You done letting them back in? We're 3 defense. We're 3D. Got it? We're 3 defense all the time. All the time. Dave, you're on the baseline. You got to get back as fast as you can. 3 defense. Stop playing tired down here. Hey, it's right here. It's right here. 1, 2, 3, defense. Go.
Well, Coach Weldon has made a couple of substitutions, bringing in Dave Lloyd and young Carl Miller into the match. But more importantly, he said, hey, don't let him back into the match. But I think it's a bit late to say that. They are back in the match. They're only 2 points down. And Kingston, boy, the Kingston machine seems to be picking up gear.
Still a long, long time to go. 13 minutes and 45 seconds left. Andy Annell on for John Johnson. So Johnson gets the rest he wanted.
Well, it's now becoming the match it should be. The best match of the season, the National Championship Final.
Will Brown. Great hustling under the basket, and a foul against Carl Miller, number 11.
Well, he got slapped about 4 times. I'm surprised he didn't call a bit earlier.
Well, I seen this must be deja vu, because I remember when there's the foul. Will Brown slaps him once and finally gets a foul. But I remember we played United and they were up by 7. And, you know, we came back on them, and they have a tendency to have lapses, and they're having a big one right now.
Amen.
The scores are level. 13 minutes left. Kingston are pulled back, and now their fans in front of us are on their feet.
Well, they got the London crowd here, Simon.
About 3,000 of them are Kingston fans here. It's been a sellout at Kingston for the last 15 home games. Every league game from about October onwards sold out. Every cup game, every Anglo-Scottish Cup game, and that's a tribute to these men. A foul there against Davis, not appreciated by the Kingston fans. His 4th foul, Danny Davis.
Oh, that could be crucial, very crucial. He's got to come out for a minute. You got to have a rest. And I think Coach Chamberlain's bringing him out. Good job, but they need him in there. I didn't see the foul, but it didn't look like a charge foul to me.
I think this is a consideration of Danny Davis has got a bad knee. You take him out, if he cools off, it's going to take him a little bit longer to get warm again. I don't know. Maybe I keep him in the ball game. He's smart enough to stay in the game.
Well, yesterday you were telling him to take Steve Bontrager out. Today you're telling him to put Danny Davis down. You know what that means.
Will Brown puts United back in front.
Come on, United. Don't give up. Don't let these guys get back in there. Look at him moving Johnson inside. Oh!
Amazing. Amazingly fast. Johnson, but a foul.
My ball.
I question that call. That had to be traveling.
I'm not giving the foul. I'm giving him the white ball.
There's the offensive foul there. He missed that one. He falls, trips, skids a bit. And Allen says, no harm, no foul. There it is again. He runs right over Carl Miller, grabs his own rebound, falls a bit, and they give him the ball back.
Well,
Maybe I ought to try that.
Really, I think Allen was sleeping there a little bit.
Not to mince words. Here's Johnson.
Well, Allen just got back from doing one of the big European Cup games in Moscow. Maybe changing his refereeing tactics a bit. Oh, nice play by Mark Clark. Gets the offensive rebound, a missed shot by Doug Lloyd, and puts it back in. Manchester United have got to screen those guys off the board.
74 apiece, 12 minutes left. David Lloyd. Rounds Bontrager. Is that a foul against Bontrager? I think it is.
Foul on 11, White!
Shooting foul, too.
2 shots.
That's Bontrager's 3rd foul, and he'll be thinking about that. Meanwhile, a little consultation between the United men as David Lloyd here goes to the free throw line. Man with 38 England caps, 11 Great Britain caps. And just before Lloyd has the free throws to make him think, Malcolm Chamberlain takes a timeout for Kingston.
Good job,
What a
don't
match
worry.
we
Hey,
have here,
listen,
74
we got
apiece.
ourselves back in this game by working hard on the defensive end. Hey, you cannot relax now on the defensive end, and all you have to do is keep pushing the ball out and run the offense, no matter whether they're in their man or their zone. Run the offense. Now, you can still run corner now, okay? In fact, it's better to run corner with the way we're lined up, okay? Because we got the guys coming round, set the picks, okay? Run corner, look inside, okay? Run corner, look inside. Make sure you three guys are going to the boards. Okay. You keep working like you are up on offense. Stevie, you've got to get back, okay?
I'm sure you're not pressuring too much. Let's go clear out. Take it, all right? Just keep
Thank you.
going, though. Make it work.
Hey, you can run it and we can control it. Come on.
Well, Malcolm Chamberlain says we got back in the ball game by playing a bit of defense. That's unusual to hear, but it's in essence true. And what he wants him to do is stick with one offensive set, corner, which is getting them easy, open shots from Martin Clark and John Johnson.
David Lloyd then. Plenty of time to think about these free throws, and that's one of the advantages of taking a timeout when a guy just gets a bit cool. Has time to think about what he's got to do.
Who was it that said the best defense is a good offense? I think that's been Kingston's philosophy all year long.
Certainly are the #1 offensive team.
Here we see a pressure trapping half-court defense by Manchester. Nice rebound by David Lloyd. He starts the fast break.
And then realizes it wasn't on and feeds the man who can break quickly. Will
Over
Brown.
half court. There you go.
Well, that shows his experience. You know, some guys get the ball and they force the fast break. David said it wasn't there. Let's slow it up and work for a good shot. Intelligent basketball.
Forrest breaks through. No one there to stop him once again.
It looked as though Lloyd got a piece of it, but it still went in.
He's been pretty quiet for the last 4 minutes, Mr. Irish.
34 points, Johnson, and they're much quicker onto Johnson now, as well they might be with his form in the last few minutes. And Steve doesn't see him move inside.
Well, I'm wondering whether the tempo of the game is now going back to United. They've had their laps. Let's see if they can hang on to win this ball game. They've got the tempo back a bit.
Well, as we talked about, they've slowed it down a bit. That's what they have to do. They don't want to get in a running match with Kingston.
Irish pushes Clark away as if he's hardly there. Clark's a couple of inches bigger than him, but he moves up to 36 points.
Great pass by John Johnson while he was in the air to Andy Annell in the basket.
I'll tell you something, boy. Colin Irish is giving Kingston a lesson on offensive power play. He's just giving Martin Clark, Doug Lloyd, Simon Reed, Danny Palmer, Al Burke a lesson.
Don't start picking on us again, Alton.
6 points, Andy Annell now. His first points of the second half. And United 2 in front. It's coming up to halfway through the second half. And Brown picks up a rather weird shot there.
It's a very questionable shot, Simon. Excellent call.
Look at Johnson moving around there.
Nope, umpire Alan Richardson calls 3 seconds in the key.
No way. You caused the contact, Will.
And John Johnson and Steve Bontrager have a little chat in mid-court. And Steve said, stop doing that. You're committing our guys in the D, and you mustn't do it. And good defense from Bontrager there.
Boy, young Carl Miller just pushed Steve out of the way. He said, hey, Steve, get out of here, man. I want this ball. He almost got it.
Johnson in L's free. Does well there. Basket's called good.
It's nice to see an English guard in a big game like this come out and do something. Good job, Andy.
There's always been some questions as to Andy's abilities in big ball games, and today I think he's shutting a few critics up. He's playing a whale of a game for Kingston.
Certainly is.
Put a foul against him. That's his first foul. 5 fouls against Kingston, 6 against United so far. Remember, after 7 fouls, we go to a 1-on-1 situation.
Yeah, they have a foul on Doug Lloyd against Ed Bona.
2 shots.
So 6 fouls against each team at the moment, and Bona goes to the foul line. 78 points apiece.
4 minutes will tell you the winner of the national championships. I don't think that this one's going to go down to an overtime game.
Well, I don't know about overtime, but the way their teams, the way they're playing, it could go right down to the wire.
Bontrager. Johnson.
Manchester playing his own defense at half court, looking to trap on any possibility they can. Steve Bontrager throws the ball out of bounds off of Manchester defender's hands. And he's really complaining to umpire Alan Richardson about people following him or hitting him with the ball. Ooh, and he called a charge on Steve. He's not going to be happy about this. Look at him.
Steve's got to calm himself. He's got to calm himself. Good defense by Dave Lloyd. Steps right in there, gets position, and Bontrager comes down right on him, and that's 4 on Steve Bontrager.
4 fouls. He had 8 minutes with 4 fouls yesterday, and he wouldn't go off. But if he wasn't the coach, I would think that maybe it would be brought off. But I fancy he'll stay on again. But he is the key to their offense, and if Bontrager does get fouled out, then a lot of Kingston's play goes.
Well, they've never had to play without him. Here they get a little controversy at half court.
Did he deflect the ball, Colin? Should have. It wasn't the backcourt. It wasn't the backcourt. So it's a red ball sideline. Right, it's a red ball sideline.
So Alan Richardson there, and Colin Gerrard sorted out.
It was a red ball
Well, I thought that was a good call, Simon. One referee called back court, or umpire Alan Richardson called back court, and then he talked to the referee Colin Gerrard and said, no, it was not a backcourt call, so they're going to get the ball back to the red team.
Because my mistake.
Excellent decision.
That's what I
There's a replay. There's a replay. Sorry, Simon. And Nell hits the ball. William Brown never touched it, but I think Alan Richardson just caught the tail end of it and called a violation.
Well, it's good to see the referees talk about it and change the decision.
I didn't see the deflection, Steve.
And that's why I really like the referees here, because they both back away, calm the situation down, and then make the call. 2 points for Lloyd.
Boy, they can use some poise from David Lloyd. He's been a bit quiet this season, but boy, they can sure use him now. And I think he's going to rise to the occasion and help him out.
No one there for the rebound. And the lead back to 4.
Again, Manchester are playing their type of ball game. They're slowing it down, looking for a good shot. And they're not giving up. Kingston came back at them.
Both Dan Davis and Steve Bontrager with 4 fouls. What would you do, Danny, if you were the coach?
Of Kingston?
Yep.
Oh, what can you do? You've won every title with these players. You haven't used the other ones too much. You know, there's 8 minutes left in the ball game. I'd do exactly what they're doing. Go out there and try and win the ball games we have all year long. Put the ball up in the air.
Here's Lloyd.
Just like that.
He has 12. And here's Bona giving it to Brown.
It certainly will be interesting to see. I'm sure the Kingston fans would enjoy this, to see how Kingston would play without Stephen Bontrager on the court.
And he won't compromise, Bontrager. Just might occasionally watch where he's going for, but he'll still be right in the thick of the action.
Yeah, you can count this one. Yep. Well, I was wrong that time. I thought he was going to pull up and shoot the 3-pointer.
And Andy Nell took the responsibility. And substitution. Johnson back on. Here's Lloyd.
That's 2. I should say 3.
Downtown Bontrager.
He's up to 26 now, Bontrager. And the lead back to 1. And just every time you think that United are going away, Bontrager, at the crucial moment, just nips them with something a little bit different.
Here from David Lloyd again. Nice shot, Dave.
I tell you, he's one of the smartest players going. And he's made a good defensive play on Bontrager. 2 big jump shots in the last 5 minutes.
Didn't get a point in the match against Worthing, but now has 7 in this match. Lloyd. Danny Davis. Martin Clark. Is there a foul against Carl Miller?
Foul on 15.
No,
Red.
Ed Bona.
2.
And that's Ed Bona's 4th foul.
He had the ball, he was trying to go up. 2 shots.
Here's the replay. Dan Davis takes a shot. Martin Clark, oh, he looks to me like Ed Bona fouled him. But the foul was called on young Carl Miller.
No, the foul was called on Bona.
It was.
Yeah, 7th foul against Manchester United in the half. So from now on, we have a 1-on-1 situation. But 2 shots here for Clark. Every shooting foul still, of course, counting for 2.
He's been a pretty quiet guy in the second half. He's only got 11 points, 3 rebounds, and I think everybody's accustomed to seeing him doing his usual workman-like job, you know, 20 points, 12 rebounds. He's been very quiet. Credit United, they've done an excellent defensive job on him.
Exactly what I wanted to say. They've done a good job on defense. You know, we're coming up to the last stage of the game. They have got to continue that good defense the rest of the match.
Ed Bona, 2 for him, and then crashes into Clark and extends the lead up to 3.
Everyone from Man United seems to be having a pretty good night tonight. So that's, I think they got a good chance of winning this.
Montrega. Johnson. Montrega finds room here and then sets Lloyd. Very nearly free, but United quick to get their hands to that. Colin Irish tipping it out.
Oh, they're playing good defense, Simon. They're working hard, they're adjusting, they're helping out, doing everything they need to beat a team like Kingston here.
Lloyd, here's Johnson. Oh, didn't look very open there, but still it went in.
Well, tough shot. He made it. Looks good on paper. Look like he used to call it a bench shot. He missed those, baby. Come have a seat next to the coach on the bench.
Bona.
Yeah, Bona.
17 points to Bona.
Big Ed's come alive tonight.
Montrega. Lloyd. Right from there to the 3-point line, and nothing near the net there.
Yep, referee Colin Gerard said the ball went off Martin Clark and gives the ball to Manchester United. Doesn't look, gentlemen, to me like Manchester United are going to fold tonight. They're hanging in there pretty tough.
All they need is 2 baskets, I think.
Well, that's it. You can never write off the Kingston.
That's true.
I've said it so many times before. I must say it looks that way, but you can never write them off.
I say that, but you know, if you feel inside that Kingston are going to somehow pull it off like they have done all year long.
Every time it's been down to the wire, Kingston have come up with the trophies.
And there's the man who does it for him. Look at Davis struggling inside. Somebody grabbed his arm.
And his eye as well.
It hurts in there.
10 red on the arm. 2 shots.
That's the war zone in there. That's the paint.
You get in there often, Al?
Not much. Not much.
If he does, you can't see him.
That's right. I get in and get out of there before anything drastic happens.
He whacks a few knees, though, I guess. And Davis certainly has got a problem with the eye. As you can see, those hands going in so fast. It's a dangerous time. But they can't afford for any real injury, any substantial injury to happen to Davis. They desperately need him. As he goes to the foul line, this is how it happened. Look at all those hands reaching in there. There's the hand there. Yep. From Jeff Jones.
I think it looks like Doug Lloyd. Hard to tell.
Doug Lloyd plays for them, Danny. Dave Lloyd plays for the other team.
Oh, well, you know, there's so many damn Lloyds around this country, you don't know who's who.
Yes, it's ironic that the only one who's not here, Danny Lloyd, in fact, has picked up more trophies than either of his brothers.
Well, Danny played on the same team with Alton and myself my first year in England. We played here at Wembley. And one of the greatest matches I've ever seen.
Into the last quarter now of the second half. And what an exciting last 5 minutes this is going to be. 1 point the lead for United. Beaten last year in the final, still not with a championship trophy to their credit. Neither of Kingston, but United have battled so hard through this match.
Yeah, Doug Lloyd looked at the referee like he wanted a foul, but he didn't. He wasn't down. He didn't put his arms out and screen Colin Irish off. He got the ball and put it right back in.
40 points now to Colin Irish. Clark. Oh, they needed that then.
Well, this is it. Like you said, the last 4 minutes of the match. This is going to be good.
Good.
I like these games. Yeah.
Can we cope with it?
Oh, yeah.
Here's Will Brown.
William Brown.
Davis. Those long arms proving true again. John Johnson. Should have scored with that one. He was as open as he'll ever be.
Yeah, he decided to shoot from outside instead of going inside, and he didn't hit it.
Will Brown.
It's crunch time now.
Irish.
I wonder what he's going to do with it now. He's got 40 points.
Irish.
Beautiful move, beautiful. He got fouled. Beautiful move by Colin Irish.
Fellas, no matter what you tell me about Martin Clark, there's the move again. He gets hit twice, and no matter what you tell me, there's the most valuable player in the playoffs. Anybody who gets 80 points in 2 games is the best player on the floor.
Yes, sir.
41 points yesterday. There's the reaction from his bench. They will consider that one of the key games. He's shooting 20 from 29. He has 42 points to make that 43. 4 points in the lead, United. 3.5 minutes left.
Well, I tell you, this half-court zone defense at Manchester has been giving Kingston a lot of trouble, primarily because they haven't hit their open shots. And that was a bad shot there by Clark. He rushed it a bit too soon. Slow it down, Will Brown. That's it. Playing some intelligent basketball, Manchester United are.
They certainly are. In Kingston, the shooting percentage is not high enough. United have put too much pressure on those outside shots. And it looks now as if it really is going to be an awfully tough proposition if Kingston are going to pull it out. Particularly if Irish keeps getting shots like that from nowhere. Up to 45, but what a game this man's having. 6 points the lead. Johnson keeps Kingston just about in touch. 4 points down. Under 3 minutes left, 2:35 left. What a match this is.
Oh boy. Colin Irish, what a great job. I'll tell you, it's great to watch the offense that Manchester United run. They're taking their time, running their offense, trying to get the open man, and there he is. Ed Bona. Oh, nice tip.
And a timeout, I think, called by Malcolm Chamberlain. 2 points to Bona.
There's the shot. And look at Bona. He reaches over and taps that in. Martin Clark never touched him. And Ed Bona gets an easy tip in.
So Kingston have the timeout. They have 2 minutes and 17 seconds to turn this around. 6 points down. Here's Malcolm Chamberlain.
Hey, make sure that you deny the inbound pass on the front. You two guys up the front, you two guys at half court, you're going wrong. Deny it. You go anything to the middle, you're going dropping and helping, okay? Hey, if you get the ball, instead of shooting the 18-footer, take it to the hole. And also, offensively, I'm going to bait and you get the shooting position. Get ready. I'm going to. Hey, you've still got to box out that end. You're forcing the weak shots, but you're not getting the rebounds because you're not boxing out. Now, we've had the chances to go up. You've got to keep playing the D. Push the ball up, Steve, hard. Let's go.
Well, you got to admire the determination of the Kingston player. They think they've still got a chance, and they do. There's enough time left, but I think they're going to press on defense. And they said, hey, let's try and get the ball inside instead of taking long shots. But I think it might be a bit late for that sort of tactic.
Well, there's one eerie thing about all this. As long as this guy who's got the ball right now, Mr. Bontrager, is on the floor, and he's got an opportunity to shoot 3-pointers, they're in the game.
Absolutely.
And you know his range is about kind of London city limits.
Really. And Steve always maintains, hey, as long as that 3-point line's out there, we got a chance.
And they've got the chance of getting the rebounds as well, but not with rebounds like that.
If Man United scores here, the game is over, fellas. They're going to hold the ball, run the clock down, very intelligent, take a shot after, 25 or 30 seconds, and not allow Kingston to get back into the match.
And there goes Danny Davis. Danny Davis will be off. That could be the final death knell in Kingston's coffin. That's the marker that says it all. And it means that Danny Davis will leave the court.
Possession taken in.
There's Danny Davis' stats. He finished up with 10 points. He only shot 3 for 9 field goals, 4 for 4 at the free throw line. He got 10 rebounds. He had 3 turnovers, and finally, at the end, 5 fouls.
Bontrager now. It's desperate stuff. A minute and a half left for Kingston to turn this around. But he still gets to the hole. A charging foul.
And there goes Bontrager. He's gone too.
And he's off as well.
Get your arm off me. I can't wait till TV sees that. Basket's good. Charging foul, 11 white. 2 points.
There you see it. He charges into Colin Irish, knocks him to the floor, and picks up his 5th foul.
Get your arm off me. That is 4 charges on me. Right. That is all 3 of them were bad. That's 1 good charge. Come on.
And Malcolm Chamberlain pulls him away. But you can see that Bontrager said there were 4 charging fouls against him. He feels the referees were out to get his number. But there are a lot of people in basketball who thinks he's been getting away with murder throughout the season with his charges. But what a way for him to finally come to grief in the final of the national championship. It does look now as if it's all over. 4 points, though. He did get the 2 points, remember, before he got the foul. Richard Rudd is the man on number 9 there. A foul against him.
Well, I think the national championship is going up to Manchester United, fellas.
Foul against Rudd, number 8, sorry, not number 9. But a sideline possession to United.
Well, it's time to take the air out of the ball, folks. Fold up the chairs, turn out the lights.
Well, they played this intelligent all night long. You can't, think that they're not going to do the rest of the game. Ed Bowen gets 2 points and a foul. The tie is so up the game.
Foul against Martin Clark. His 2nd foul. But 2 points to that man there, Ed Boner. And a chance to go to the foul line if he wants.
Well, it's difficult to say at this point, Simon, but I think everybody would agree there's nothing been more pleasant than to see United play this well and to play the way that they're capable of playing. A team with as much talent as these guys should have been playing like this all year long. They haven't folded. They've shown great composure. They played great defense, and they beat Kingston at their own game.
So the 3-pointer goes in, and now they'll go for 3-pointers from Kingston. Martin Clark.
Oh, look at that rebound by Ed Bowen. He was way up over the rim.
Intentional foul. 14 white.
We got intentional foul on Martin Clark from Kingston, called by the referee. So it'll be possession on the sideline for Manchester.
Right there.
1 minute, 2 seconds to go. And Kingston now fouling whatever they can just to try and get possession. That's the name of the game now.
Well, I was going to say, Danny, is that what you'd be telling your players to do? I know we up north would be saying, keep fouling because sooner or later they're going to get too tentative to throw it in. What would you be telling your team to do?
Well, I don't know. It's a difficult thing to say at the time.
50 seconds left. Jones in Nell trying everything he knows, but Boner once again does it again.
I mean, that answers itself. What can you say? They're playing great. They played a great game. The whole, as Alton said, there's not much you can say, Say congratulations, fellas. You played a hell of a game.
A magnificent day for Manchester United. They beat Liverpool in soccer at Anfield, and they don't do that too often to keep their league championship hopes alive. And now the basketball club, which has become affiliated to the football club this year, gets its first major title. A magnificent day for the Northwest.
Yeah, they play some very nice basketball tonight. And Kingston, they haven't shot well, but I think it's because of the good defense played by Manchester.
And here's Jeff Jones. Will Brown, it's in again. They are unstoppable at the moment. And Kingston can only shake their heads as the arms go up for United. It's been a long, long time. The year seemed to go on and on. At Wembley last year, it was Solent who beat them convincingly. The Anglo-Scottish Cup. They also had a pre-season loss in the British Cup. And then the Cup final. Then they were tipped by Kingston in the league. Everyone said that Joe Wilton and his fellas couldn't do it. They hadn't got the guts in the crucial situation. But they proved it wrong here. In Nell.
They've said, here we are. So we got the national championship. Kyle Lowry, the man responsible, is going in for another 2 points.
No fancy down stuff, just the points. And how he's got the points, 47 of them.
No question about the MVP of this match, of this tournament.
Johnson gets 2. And Kingston are on their way out. The celebrations are there. In the end, a convincing victory. 109 to 97. And many people thought it was desperately difficult. But they came through, and congratulations there to that man, Coach of the Year, Joe Welton Jr. So Bontrager ends a fine season in sadness and a little bit of anger. But it's been a magnificent season, crowned by Manchester United. But for all of you, Bontrager and Irish, Pat Benatar has a few words for you.